Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Let's Play Every Day. I'm Tim McNiff, but this cast of characters not what was on the placard today. And Darrell Thompson, who may or may not be on the run from the law, and Tanishka, who just go by appearances, TT, and Tanishka sporting her purple. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
What are the odds you're wearing that today if the game had not ended the way it did yesterday?
Oh, like 0.
I love it. All right, here we do have Darrell Thompson, president of Boulder Options, and of course, one part of the Golden Gopher football team, the radio broadcast. Tanishka Mhaskar, she's a student at Case Western University. She covers the Minnesota Vikings for zone coverage, climbed the pocket in the Minnesota Wild for Hockey Wilderness, and see Willi Myles stepping in for Sam Richter, who texts me and says, remember when I said last week that the Vikings would need to score 35 points to win this game? And Sam's brilliant. So, of course, I just go, yes, I do remember you saying that. But let's face it, if you score 35 points most games, you're probably going to win. But they did win this game yesterday. But he also said, yeah, I can't make it. I picked up a speaking gig. So see Willi, being the guy that he is, stepped up. And I got the bonus of meeting his mother-in-law this morning prior to this, which was
That's right.
And her name is?
Her name's Bernie. Well, it's Bernadine, but I call her Bernie. We call her Bernie.
Lovely lady. Very nice to meet
Big fan of yours, my friend. Big fan of yours.
Back at you, and nice to meet her. I want to thank Jesse Pierce for stepping in my stead last Friday and for doing what I'm told was a terrific job. I will be watching the show later today as my schedule allows. I was down in Texas for a family gathering over the weekend, so I saw other than the last 3 minutes of the Vikings-Packers game yesterday, 0 for sports. So instead of me asking you questions based on my observations, I want to know what you guys saw, what you've got to tell me about what happened this weekend, starting, of course, with Packers-Vikings. And Tanishka's got the purple and gold on. I'll just add, down at the Austin airport yesterday, I always gauge my trips. How far can I go on a trip before I see someone wearing anything Green Bay Packers? And I had not seen – yeah, you don't. And coming out of the airport, there was 2 people, and I'm like, oh, Skol. I have my Vikings t-shirt on. They're like, Skol. So yeah, that was right before the game, or the game would have been in process, I guess. But we saw that yesterday. Tanishka, I know the Vikings did win 34-31. I saw the end of the game. Tell me about the first half. And I had in here, tell me what the Vikings did well on defense, but since reading about it, a lot of Justin Jefferson in that first half too.
Yeah. I think, though, more than anything the Vikings did, it was just Aaron Rodgers straight up missing people. And I think his toe, at least for a little bit, did affect him because near the end of the first half, Jordan Love came out to take knees before going to halftime because Rodgers was already down in the tunnel. But I do think that they did a better job in the first half of just covering, but they can't get any pressure like at all, even against that makeshift Packers offensive line. So the secondary just wore out in the second half, and Woods had probably his worst game of the year. But overall, they held on as much as they could in the first half. But without Danielle Hunter, that defensive line is just not going to take you far into the playoffs when they do get there.
If they get there. Things obviously did change for Green Bay in the second half. Darrell, Rodgers came out and led the Pack on 3 consecutive scoring drives. From your perspective as a Green Bay guy, what changed?
I don't think really much changed. I think, the Packers are the Packers, and everything hinges on Aaron Rodgers. And I think in this game we saw with the Vikings and their team. Obviously, they're the Vikings. They played a ton of close games, and I think home field matters. And that was the reason yesterday. I mean, yeah, the toe and the points and everything else, but the Vikings were able to finish yesterday, and that's what's needed to get the bad taste of the 4 Super Bowls and any other losses that we have, so that people start drinking the purple Kool-Aid with their favorite knockout beverage enhancing it.
I like it. Willi, I wrote this question last night, and I'm going, I hope he doesn't think I'm picking on him, because I am not, okay? I'm not. I'm just saying Aaron Rodgers, 23 of 33, 4 TDs. That's usually going to win, right? Kirk Cousins, 24 of 35, 3 TDs. Kirk Cousins was brought here to close the gap to the huge advantage Green Bay had at quarterback. I know you're not a big fan of his. How did Kirk Cousins do yesterday? Because the numbers to somebody who didn't see anything other than him throw, oh my God, he just threw an interception.
God, yeah.
Oh wait, it's not. That's about all I saw.
That's his MO. But no, what he did yesterday, and I was trolling my good friend T-Bone down here all day yesterday because he was if he throws that ball to Justin Jefferson this is what he has to do. This team would be in much better shape had he been doing this from the get-go. They make this game a lot tougher than it needs to be. This kid is amazing. I'm standing up there talking with I was in the booth. I'm not dropping names here, but I'm up there with Martin Nance, who was a former receiver for the Vikings. He works for VP of marketing, so they invited me. I was up in the suite, and we were talking. This kid is open every single play when he leaves the line of scrimmage. You have got to figure out a way to get him the ball. And once they did, that opened up the running game for Cook. And the thing is that this is all he needs to do. And I just don't think that Kubiak, and I always blame, the quarterback because he's out there, but Kubiak, I just don't think have a whole lot of creativity when it comes to where, on those third and short, you got to figure out a way to, they did one play yesterday that was fantastic, but other than that, throw the ball to Justin Jefferson. This kid is amazing. He looks so good. He made it look so easy against Green Bay yesterday. It was like watching Randy Moss all over again. Seriously. So yeah. So kudos to Kirk Cousins because he was putting the money. He did put the ball on the money. But when you got a guy that wide open, there's no reason why you should be under or overthrowing him.
8 catches for JJ, 8 catches for Thielen. Both find the end zone. Dalvin Cook, 22 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Tanishka, is this the Vikings offense we were all expecting / hoping to see at the start of the season?
Well, I think so, just because of the aggressiveness and looking through your big three and not Tyler Conklin and CJ Ham as much, even though there was that weird 3rd and 1 pitch to CJ Ham that just killed a drive and gave the Packers a bunch of momentum that I still don't understand.
Don't understand that.
Tendency breaker. Come on now.
No.
No, if you're going to do that, use Cook.
Right.
But I think that's what they need to do each week. And just like Willi Myles said, Jefferson is always open. And I don't know why, but I saw a stat this morning that Green Bay played off coverage on Jefferson 2/3 of the time and produced 139 receiving yards on that. And I don't know why you would just leave him wide open like that, but they did, and I guess they paid for it. But either way, every week, just looking to those two will get the run game going, even though Dalvin Cook hasn't been as good as he usually is this year, I don't think. But if they get that groove on offense as the season goes on and as we get into December, that will be very important because they're not going to be the kind of team that can ride their defense to go far with some of the injuries they have and just some of the depth they have and some guys just not playing well.
DT, as I said, I did see Cousins throw what appeared to be the interception that would have sealed the Vikings' fate, only to have that call overturned on replay. Did the better team win yesterday?
I mean, I don't know. Quite honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The Vikings won. And I think I've seen many, many times where like, oh, we got the whatever you want to say it, and we didn't get that call. So the Vikings got the call. You hope the Gophers get the call, the Twins, whatever it is. So you got the call. Yeah, it was a bad pass, poor decision. Pat Mahomes makes that play. They're like, oh my God, well, no one even cares if Pat Mahomes makes a bad pass or if Aaron Rodgers is a little off, only threw 4 touchdowns yesterday. I'm like, well, that's typically enough. I think Aaron Rodgers played very well. Kirk Cousins played very well yesterday, able to come out with the victory. Yeah. And then the guy and that penalty now is like I would be, playing defensive back right now or playing, a rush end or linebacker. You can't fall on guys. You got to be careful with your hands in college and in professional tremendously. So you just kind of got to know that that's what the deal is. So yeah, you got bailed out just a tiny bit, just a break, like on a holding penalty or anything else. When he spikes the ball, that doesn't count as incomplete ball, it should count as a reception because I'm spiking the ball. So I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and the Vikings were able to take advantage of it and get a big W yesterday.
With that win, the Vikes do reach the 500 mark at 5-5, but this is no time for celebration. They turn their attention to the West, and the San Francisco 49ers, a team very much like themselves, have won 2 straight and also stands at 5-5. Willie, what does the Purple need to continue, and what do they need to either throw out or get a lot better at if they're going to make it 3 straight against the 49ers?
I think, well, if they play the way they played yesterday, offensively, they need to get a lot better on defense. Man, that was horrible. The thing is that I offensively, I just think they need to be more creative, and I just don't know. I mean, all the talk up into the Green Bay is like how Zimmer has confused Aaron Rodgers. He did not look confused at all yesterday. I think a lot of it had to do with his toe, but at the end of the day, the defense just was not. They didn't put enough pressure on him. They got a couple of sacks, but they didn't get enough pressure on him where they should have. I mean, that one touchdown pass he threw, I think he had 10 seconds. He just tiptoed around back there until he found someone open. And it was like, holy crap. But the defense has got to get much better, and they got to take more chances on these blitz packages and get there, And when they do get there under control and not run right by the quarterback like they did a couple of times yesterday, But offensively, they got to just, concentrate on getting the ball to their playmaker, and that is JJ. You got to throw him the ball. Period. I love Adam Thielen. I think he's a great player, and he's doing great. But I think when you start getting that ball to JJ, that opens up everything because they're gonna have to double this kid, and that makes Thielen that much more dangerous. It really does. And
that's why he became dangerous in the beginning, Willie. Because of Diggs. I mean, he's a great Robin. Now he can be back. I mean, he's a great receiver. He deserves it. He deserves the money. He deserves everything. But you want to have a 1-2 punch. And if they're putting that much coverage and pressure on Jefferson because he is a more dangerous downfield threat and he's a little more dynamic. So I mean, it's a very good point. Yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah, and you get that ball to Thielen. If he's got a yard between him and the defensive back, that kid's got speed. He'll pull away. He's a lot faster than people think he is, but I mean, he ain't JJ's speed, but I mean, I'm telling you, this kid he's got wheels. And you saw it yesterday. He had a great game yesterday, all because, JJ opened up that field for him, and that, and Kirk just got to, he's got to give himself. And the one thing I will add, and I'm going to be done with him, is that you're going to get a hit. You need to stand in that pocket a little bit, get those just a second. He's too many times he dumps off, and when we saw guys coming across just wide open, but he wants to get rid of that ball so he doesn't take that hit. And that to me is just, I saw Aaron take so many hits after he threw the ball yesterday, and that's what a good quarterback does. Give your guy a chance to get open.
Return to what Darrell said just very quickly too to Adam Thielen. The important thing here too is Thielen, I think, is okay with being Robin. I don't think he needs to be Batman, right? As long as he's getting his strengths.
Everybody wants to be the man, but I mean, it's fine. I mean, he caught 8 balls. Jefferson caught 8 balls. If they both catch 7, 8, 9 balls apiece, I think they're both happy.
Perfect.
They're just different. They're just different. Different players.
They should be catching 7, 8, 9 balls a game, both of them. Period.
Yes, and we need to learn from the Diggs situation. We can't let that happen again. Not with this kid. I mean, he fell into their laps, and they have to take advantage of that. We're going to change gears to the Golden Gopher football team, DT. They hammered the Hoosiers in Indiana 35-14. I expected a win. I didn't expect that. So it does keep alive their slim hopes for a Big Ten West title. Not having seen it, how do you feel about the Gophers win in Indiana? And more important, how do you feel about this team heading into that regular season finale against Wisconsin?
I feel good, and I think I was expecting us to win here. Right now, the Hoosiers are bad. I mean, their football team is bad. Their offensive line is bad. They don't have any quarterbacks, and they have no running backs. I mean, they're down to they have fewer running backs than we have, and their offensive line is not very good. And they started a true freshman quarterback. He was throwing the ball just kind of all over, great runner. So they don't have anything. So I was expecting us to hammer them, and we actually did hammer them. I wouldn't say it out loud in my keys of the game. We should hammer. We actually did hammer them. They got a courtesy touchdown at the end of the game when we played the second team and third team. So I mean, everything is on the table. We're sliding all the chips in this weekend against Wisconsin, and we've not beat them at home for, I don't even remember the last time. And I'm not young, T-Bone, so it's not a good thing. So it's been a while since we beat them at home, but I feel like this is one of the best teams we've had depth-wise, and I think it comes down to defense against this team. That Wisconsin offensive line is famous for their beautiful footwork up front and having a tremendous running back that's going to come downhill on you, and then a little bit of play action as you start to kind of get your head in the gap, and all of a sudden then some tight end or receiver is running basically scot-free because you're so concerned about these 6 offensive linemen that have been caving your head in for the last 10 or 15 minutes. So, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen now. I think PJ Fleck is phenomenal underdog coach. You tell him he can't do it. You say, PG, I bet you can't run to Chicago. He'd run to Chicago. So I mean, this is you say, oh, you guys don't stand a chance. Really, coaches like anyway. I thought my favorite was Denny Green. He was like, no respect this, nobody loves this, you can't do anything. So I was like, hey, all right. So yeah, this is the weekend. We need some Balboa, some Clubber Lang. We need some action.
We need the axe, man. That's what we need. We need the axe.
All right, we need a tool.
Something.
A trophy.
We're out of weapons.
Trophy. Minnesota Wild played the second of back-to-back games by falling in a shootout to the Tampa Bay Lightning yesterday. Tanishka, it was also the second straight game the Wild were chasing the lead all game. What did I miss? And Coach Kevin Gorg this morning, he actually was feeling pretty good about the Wild in those games. How are you seeing that?
I'm okay I don't think I'm as good as KG about them. I just feel like Spurgeon got hurt on Saturday, I think. And I think just after that, the blue line just kind of fell apart versus Florida on Saturday. And they were a bit better yesterday. But I think with Spurgeon out for nobody knows how long yet. I think he's getting like x-rays today, but that's just a big test for them. And that in itself just left the goalie out to dry a bunch versus both Florida teams. So I think I'm glad they ended up getting a point yesterday. That was good to see. And they've had, I think they scored 2 6-on-5 goals to force overtime in the first place yesterday. And they're always playing from behind, but they're resilient enough to either get it within 1 or tie it somehow. So they're never out of it. And I guess an OT loss had to come around at some point, but hopefully Spurgeon isn't out for too long.
That's the key coming out of this thing, right? All right, the Minnesota Timberwolves play at New Orleans tonight. They're riding a 3-game win streak. Willi Myles, for the last few games at least, the numbers are all headed in the right direction. And now comes a game against a team with only 3 wins on the season. Tell me what's going right with the Minnesota Timberwolves lately.
Big cat, man. Big cat. You all see it. You don't want to see it, but, the man in the middle. No, I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, man. When you get those 3, when you get your big 3 to come out on the floor and play like they've had the past few games, that's what happened. Thursday night was ridiculous. I mean, that's how you play, And I think once these guys get to play a little bit more together, I gotta say it's a long season, and these guys need to play more together. They need to be more consistent. And that's what you saw the last week. These 2 games that they won, it was consistency. They had the bench. The bench is starting to play more. They're starting to produce, and like Prince. I mean, this guy, he's coming alive. I think the more you play, the more you're out there, the more confidence you get, and the more that everybody understand their role and accept the fact that this is Cat's team. Then I think they'll understand that that's how you fall into place. Once you come to the realize, right now they're at that stage called acceptance. When you accept the fact this whose team it is, and we need to rally around him. We came here to help this man win a championship, so we need to do our part. And the thing is that that's what they're doing. And I think that the play calling, watching them play defense was encouraging. And that's one thing. They were getting after it, man. And I tell you, That's hard to see in the NBA these days. There's not a whole lot of, the other night 138 to 93. Not that the team was that great, but I mean that's basketball. That's how you play. When you get a team down, keep them down. You crush them. Don't let them back in the game. And that's what the Timberwolves did. So they need to continue to do that. And I think they're gonna be okay. Like I said, I'm gonna give them to halfway through the season and see what their record is, and then I'll make a better call on them. But I need them to play more together and see that big three come out and produce consistently. And then I think they got a great team if they can do that.
Well, I'm interested to see what your guy does tonight because Valanciunas, the last time they played, he took Cat's lunch money. And so I'm real interested to see how
that happens.
Yeah, right. I'm interested to see how Cat responds tonight. Yeah, I'm interested. That'll be fun.
You
Darrell
don't get
Thompson,
your lunch money taken twice. Most people don't.
You can't let that happen, right?
No, not twice. No.
Darrell, I know you have a full-time gig. You cover Gopher football on the side. You have a son in the early part of his season at Indiana, so I don't know if it's fair to ask you about basketball games that are being played in the Bahamas with no TV coverage. But the Gopher women rebounded from a loss to UConn by beating Syracuse 70-63 to advance to the 5th place game at the tournament they're playing in down there. I should have had the name on that, but I don't. It's something about Atlantis, Conquer Atlantis or something that they're playing in. They play Oklahoma at 4:00. Can you tell me anything about the development of this Gopher women's basketball team? Or are you like me just going on, what you're reading
I can
and
tell
kind
you a
of
little
making
bit.
your
I mean,
assumptions?
Justin Gard is part of our broadcast team, and I'm actually in Indiana right now because I stayed for my son's game last night. So, and we were in Atlanta.
How did they do?
They won. They played against the Raging Cajuns, and the Raging Cajuns are not a very good team. So, and they beat them. So, but anyway, it's fun, and it was great to see him last night, and so all that good stuff. So, yeah, but I mean, I feel good, and talking to Justin, he feels like Lindsay is learning how to be a head coach and doing a really good job of being a head coach. And Lindsay's quietly incredibly competitive, and every once in a while that comes out and something she says, something she does, the way she gets her team motivated, the way she gets them ready. And and I think it's also showed in her recruiting class. She has a top 2 or 3 recruiting class in the nation, like for the next year. So, I mean, you win when you show up with the 12 gauge, you show up with the BB gun, be like, man, I sure hope that we can. I think if the wind's blowing, no. With the 12 gauge, you're like, oh, I'm going to fire this round right into this bad boy and take care of business. So, you show up with, a couple 12 gauges and, a bottle of whiskey, you're going to win. And I think that's where they're going.
No, is that they're knocking on your door? Is that they're coming to clean, or you got to be out of there? Or
no, they turned the water. They turned the water off in our hotel. There's nothing going on here. I don't know what's going on. So I'm and I got a lighting situation here that I'm handling. All right. The abyss.
You're the absolute best.
Where are you at, man? At a no-tail motel?
Yeah, that's right, man. I just kicked everybody out. Yeah, nice. I'm in Indianapolis. My son dropped me off last night. Like every college student, my son and his girlfriend drove to Ohio to get a dog because what every college student needs nowadays is a dog.
The dog.
So against our better judgment, he's purchasing a dog that, and oddly, his roommate is getting a dog too. Just talking to another parent at the game last night. His roommate's Trace Jackson is getting a dog. Race Thompson is getting a dog. I'm like, why are you guys getting dogs like during basketball season? You got to train them. You got to get up with them. They're like babies, kind of, So I'm just like, okay, well, we'll see how it goes. We'll be following you on Snapchat, and we'll be back, and we'll see how Rocky got picked up at about 7:00 this morning.
You're going to have a dog in about 6 weeks.
No, we already have 2. We don't have no.
Oh, nice.
Man, when I was in college, I could barely afford to feed myself. I was no way I could feed a dog.
No.
That food was expensive. And I ain't have no scraps to give them because I ate everything.
No, it's change. The college, the kids, the name, image, likeness. He gets to make some dough from that too. So I mean, they're a little more flush than we were back in the 80s.
Yeah, you got that right, brother.
And Tanishka's got that money coming, too. So
T-Bone.
Hey, listen, the Minnesota United 1 and done in the MLS playoffs. They fall 3-1 to Portland, and a team the Loons had gone 6-0-1 in their past 7 games against. They had to play without their goalie. I mean, they had a goalie, but their starting goalie came up with COVID before the game. Tanishka, Willi, anything to add where Minnesota United is concerned? It's kind of an unfair question because, I mean, you're like me. You know what's happening, but it's like, we didn't pay any.
Yeah, they're turning the
attention.
corner. Everything's looking good.
Yeah. I read Eddie's article this morning. It was really, really good, and he had some really positive things to say. So I'm going to refer that question to Andy when he comes back this weekend on Friday.
And we feel okay about the fact that the organization's headed in the right direction thanks to Andy Greeter?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. All right.
Man, that was a beautiful article. If you have time, read it. It was really nice. He wrote a great article.
It's a good man. Willi, what do you got going on in your life?
Hey, man, I have a sold-out show tonight here in Prior Lake at my buddy's event center here at Fong's Event Center. Then I have another one on tomorrow night that's sold out as well. So, and then on Wednesday, we're jetting off, heading to Texas for Thanksgiving with some family. That's why my mother-in-law is here, who you met this morning.
Beautiful.
That's
Excellent.
what I got going on.
Tanishka, are you coming home for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'll be home on Wednesday. So I'll be home Wednesday through Sunday. So I'm excited for that.
Beautiful. Great. And
But
you're
is
writing
your family?
anything?
What about your family? Is your family excited about that, or?
Hopefully.
They want to see T-Bone.
They probably just heard this real time. She's gonna be here till Sunday.
You sleep on the
I'll land before the Vikings game starts, so I won't miss that.
Oh, nice. And then are you writing anything on yesterday's game?
Probably not, but I'll probably look ahead to San Fran.
Write a preview.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And then DT, you're traveling today, and hopefully you're getting to take a shower before you do that.
I did. I actually took a shower because the water's off. So right now I got the shower. The shower's in, so I'm good to go. So yeah, I'll be traveling back to Minneapolis today, and I'm doing a couple of high school games on Friday night and the Gophers on Saturday, and and my birthday is tomorrow. So I'm a turkey baby. I was born on Thanksgiving. So that's the jive turkey reference that my mom called me a jive turkey when I was a kid.
Oh, well,
ruined it for everybody.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I did. I ruined her Thanksgiving, she said. She was ready to eat, and I came out and spoiled her day.
And only made the rest of her life wonderful, though, and complete.
I tried.
Yes, you do.
Well, I'm digging your interrogation light you got going on there.
Me too. You look good in the witness protection program.
Who stole the money from the bank?
Tell them everything. You turned that water off, didn't you, sir?
You guys are absolutely the best. This is great. I want to thank our panelists. Big thanks to Nick Gross, the good folks at Northern Lids for their continued support. This is, of course, Let's Play every day from Let's Play Sports Network. Thank you for watching, listening, and to the three of you, if I do not see you before Thanksgiving, Willi, I'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Happy Thanksgiving, and you guys are. I'm thankful for you.
Same here, man.
Me too.
Guys are the absolute best. All right, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon right here on Let's Play every day.